Hi, this is Dr. Woywood with Woywood Family Chiropractic, and I want to spend a few minutes today talking to you about how white trash will make you fat. What the heck did he just say? I said white trash will make you fat. So what do I mean by white trash? Well, I'm talking about 4 specific foods that all are primarily white, although they do come in other colors, and they are very high in the glycemic index. The glycemic index is the measure of how fast and how high a particular food will spike your blood sugar. When your blood sugar spikes, your body produces insulin, and the purpose of insulin is to take sugar from the blood and store it as fat. So high glycemic index foods will make you fat. So what are these 4 foods that I'm calling white trash? Well, the highest glycemic index of these 4 is potatoes. Potatoes of any kind. Sweet potatoes are slightly lower in the glycemic index than white potatoes, but they are still high glycemic index foods. So the glycemic index is based on pure glucose. So if you take glucose, you drink glucose, then your blood sugar is spiked at a certain rate up to a certain level. All the other foods are compared to that. So glucose has a glycemic index of 100. Baked potatoes has a glycemic index of 120, 20% higher than glucose. How does that happen? Well, as with all of these foods that I'm calling white trash, your body produces an enzyme called amylase, and that is present in your saliva. So as soon as you eat potatoes, then your body starts breaking that starch down into sugar. Also, the lining of your mouth and esophagus absorbs that sugar. So immediately that sugar is going into your blood while you're still chewing, before you even swallow. And after you swallow, even before it gets to your stomach or intestines. That's how potatoes can spike your blood sugar so fast and so high. It's amazing, isn't it? So potatoes are the first thing that you want to cut way back on if you're trying to control your weight or maintain your weight. You want to eat potatoes fairly rarely, once or twice a week. And try to avoid baked potatoes. Yes, baked potatoes are very good. But you know what? French fries actually have a lower glycemic index than baked potatoes. So you want to avoid potatoes, eat them once or twice a week. And then what's the next food? Well, the next food down the glycemic index is actually flour, white flour. Flour also comes as brown. Unless it's whole wheat flour, it has a high glycemic index. In addition to that, as we talked about last week on the vlog about high fructose corn syrup, bread contains high fructose corn syrup. There are a few brands out there that are made with sugar, but we'll talk about sugar in a minute. So these breads that already have white flour in them also contain sugar or high fructose corn syrup. So again, you chew these foods, the enzyme starts breaking down the starch and turning it into sugar, and your mouth starts absorbing the sugar. So it spikes your glycemic index. It spikes your blood glucose level. Next down the list is rice. White rice has a higher glycemic index than brown rice, but they are both high glycemic foods. So you want to avoid those foods as well. And just like bread, where you want to have maybe 1 slice a day, no more than 1 slice a day, you need to really curb if you're a rice eater, really curb that down to where it's a 1/4 cup or less per day. Preferably brown rice, but it's not that much different than white rice. And then finally, there's sugar. Now, sugar, the problem we have with sugar is that on average, Americans eat 20 pounds of sugar per year. That's amazing. 20 pounds of sugar per year per person. That's a lot of sugar. Now, we can't completely avoid sugar. I suppose we could, but then we'd be kind of outliers of society. But let's cut it way down. I recommend that you don't eat candy. Now, I put sugar in my coffee, but I put a little sugar in my coffee. I don't turn it into a confection. just a little sugar to take the bitter off. But if you drink black coffee, good for you. If you drink light coffee with no sugar, good for you. If you can avoid sugar in any way, that's going to be best for you. So the 4 foods that I'm calling white trash, the white trash that will make you fat, are potatoes of any kind, flour, rice, and sugar. So if you can cut down on these, you'll see some of the pounds just disappear. So next week, we're going to be talking about how eating at night is not a good choice. So until then, have a healthy, active, and fulfilling life, and we'll see you then.